Hello everyone. Welcome to Early Educators. Before we start, I'd really like you to subscribe to our channel so that you get updated of our upcoming videos. Alright, so in this video, I'll be discussing about student visa in Canada. I'll be discussing all the right documents secured from canada.ca website, so they are the right sources. I will tell you how to prepare the entire application so that there is a minimal possibility of rejection. Beware that Canada student visas do get rejected, so when you're preparing your application, make sure that you follow all these tips and tricks and prepare a perfect application. So let's dive in.
So, as all of you know, in order to pursue higher education, bachelor's, or any type of education in Canada, you will require a student visa. In this video, I'll cover specific to higher education, what type of student visa do you need, how you can apply, and what are the right documents to prepare your application. So first, we need to decide what kind of visa type suits you best. The first generic type is the study permit. It takes about $150 to apply for this kind of visa and takes about 9 weeks for processing time. Please note that these processing times are updated, and I request you to go to the website and see the current processing time. The next visa type is Student Direct Stream, also known as SDS. The cost is the same, about $150, and the key here is that it only takes 20 calendar days to process this application. Now, you can apply online or offline for both the visa types. It is preferred that you apply online because it's a very simple portal. You have to go to the website and fill out the application. You can also verify the status of your application and get to know how many days it will take to get the processing done. So it's easier to track, and I would really advise you to go with the online option. These are the important documents required for either visa types. I will discuss all these documents in detail in the upcoming section. Where am I getting all this information from? I have really gone through the entire website of canada.ca a lot of time before making this video. And I've gone through this process in 2019 to apply for the visa and come to Canada, seek a higher education. I want to really specify that the student direct stream has some documents that you specifically need, which are not mandatory for the study permit. So, first year tuition fee proof is a mandatory requirement for SDS. You need to have a GIC of $10,000 at least. You need to have an IELTS score of 6.0 in each skill. So beware that if you are applying through SDS team, your TOEFL score will not be considered. You need to give the IELTS exam and then medical exam. So medical exam is common for both. So these are the particular countries which are eligible to apply for an SDS visa. So now, the first document that you need is a proof of identity. You need to have a valid passport that expires after your study duration. You need to have at least one page that is free for them to print your Canada visa. And there are specific dimensions of your photo that is required. So if you're applying online, you might only need your digital photo and you don't need to give the physical photo, but just read these instructions carefully because they keep changing. 35 by 45 is the ideal dimension for this visa type. Next, letter of acceptance from a designated learning institute. So DLI is the short form of designated learning institute. Canada has a list of DLIs that they've posted on their website, and you can only get a study permit if you are pursuing education in one of these institutes. University of Toronto is one of a DLI. So the university will give you an acceptance letter. Also, check if your university acceptance letter has a mention of conditional acceptance or you requiring to take an English test after going there or a French language test after going there. So having these requirements might slow your visa process and can also get your visa rejected. Next, the English test. So if you're applying for the study permit general application, you can submit either IELTS or TOEFL. So these are the two common exams people usually take. So as I said before, if you're applying for the SDS team, you need to have the IELTS exam done and your score should be above 6.0 in each of the skills. For the general exam, you can also submit to TOEFL IBT and the score range should be above 90 to 100. This is a very important section. I would advise you to read a lot about the proof of funds and follow these simple steps in order to secure your application and tell and convince the board that you have enough funds to study in Canada for the duration of your program. Now, first thing, if you go into the website, you'll see that they only want you to have about $10,000 in your Canadian account or through a GIC or any way, but you need to show that you have at least $10,000 after paying your fees. But this is a minimum requirement, and it is always good to provide more than what they've asked for. GIC is an investment plan that you can do from India at a Canadian bank. So the most popular banks are CIBC and Scotiabank. So what you're doing is you're telling the bank that, okay, I'm giving you $10,000 upfront. You create an investment account for me, and then every month you give me some money out of it. So the concept here is that every month you will be requiring at least $800 to $1,000 for your living expenses. And if you're making this investment account, that money is guaranteed every month. Different banks have different number of days after which they give you that money, they disperse you that money. So apart from this, it's very important to pay your first year tuition fee so that you can say that, okay, for this 1 year, I've paid my tuition fee, I have my living expenses covered. So at least I'm done for 1 year. The reason why paying everything upfront for first year is important because after you go there, you can do a part-time job and cover your expenses later on for the second year. But I would really advise you to show more than this amount because they also want to see that if you're not able to get any part-time job, if you're not able to get any other source of income in the second year, what would you do in the second year? So make sure as much as you can to provide funds required for you for the entire duration of your program. Generally, $10,000 CADs is 1 year of living expenses. So you can provide at least between $15,000 to $20,000. How will you provide this? So there are two methods that you can provide. The first is student loan. Some of the major banks in India that provide student loans are SBI, HDFC, ICICI. And also you can show a lot of savings in your account, in your parents' accounts, your income, your previous employment history. Next, letter of explanation. So this is a letter you write to the Canadian Embassy saying that I want to come to Canada, but after pursuing my education, I also want to return to my home country. So the various sections that are recommended to have in a letter of explanation are the following. First is an introduction. So you tell which university you're attending, what is the kind of program, and also mention the DLI number. You can find it on the internet very easily. Second is your education background. So you need to convince them that your previous education history is relatable to the program that you're pursuing. So my background was in UX design, so I was easily able to convince them that I have a bachelor's in design. I've worked for a year as a UX designer, and now I'm applying for a master's program at the University of Toronto, which is also related to design. So make sure that there is some sort of relation between the two educations you've had. Then, your professional experience and future plans. So you need to convince them that if you've had some sort of professional experience in India, mention that information. Tell them that, okay, I've worked for a year in India, I've done this kind of work, this was my post, this is the company I worked for, and then I wish to pursue higher education in this field in order to gain expertise in this subject so that I can come back and serve my country. About your family or any other dependencies you have that forces you to come back to India. So one of the common statements people write is that I'm the eldest member of the family, or I have a family business that I have to come back and support, or I want to support my family, I'm the only earning member. So just make sure that your letter is convincing enough because it is a very important factor of your application. The next section is why this particular university, what did you see in this university, just give a brief about their program, and why the country Canada. At the end, it's also advised to provide a detailed financial calculation. What are the funds that you have, where you're seeking these funds, what kind of loan do you have, and all those in detail. So the last topic is medical biometrics and police reports. You might not be required to submit police reports. It's an optional document, but if you have the time, I would really advise you to go forward and get the police report done. A medical certificate is advised a lot. It is also written as optional, but I did the medical exam. I've seen many other people do it. So it is sort of mandatory to do that. So, in order to get the medical certificate, there are some authorized clinics and hospitals that you need to go and get your medical exam done. It's almost an entire day's process, and at the end, they will send you a certificate saying that your medical exam is done, and they will directly send the results to the visa office. You will not get the result of your medical exam. And then you need to submit biometrics. So, for this, when you're submitting the application, either online or offline, you need to pay the application fee and also the biometric fee. If it is required for you to give the biometrics, it will be mentioned in your online application while you're paying the fees and submitting it, that you have to go to an office and submit your biometrics there.
Thank you for watching. Hope you found this helpful. I request you to please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and place in the comments section if you want me to make videos on any new topic. Thank you. Bye-bye.